Hey everybody, good afternoon. I am the procrastinator and I am going to make some coasters today. Well, I'm going to start the coaster process today. I'm kind of excited. I mentioned in one of my other videos that when we moved I couldn't find my heat press, my mini heat press, and I love my mini heat press. So what I want to work on today is prepping some ceramic tile coasters. Ceramic tiles to make into coasters, I should say. So I have a process that I think is the best one so far, but I need that mini heat press. I did do a couple. I should have brought it over to see if you could see it, but I did do a couple with a mini iron that I bought, and I just don't like the texture. There's a texture on it, and I don't want a texture. So what we're gonna do today is ceramic tiles. I'm not sure how long the video will be, because I know I like to talk, and of course I want to explain everything as well. So my tiles are pretty dirty because they've been out in the garage. You can just buy a box of satori tiles at Home Depot or Lowe's. They're not expensive. You can see they're dusty, they're ceramic. So what I'm gonna do to clean these off is I'm gonna take, I have a spray bottle here with alcohol in it, and I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna give it a little spritz. There we go. I just put that in there. It's a brand new bottle, and I'm gonna use this little cloth. Usually I would use a paper towel because I don't want any fuzz, but I'm gonna use the cloth and see how that works out. Like I said, usually I would do the paper towel. I don't sand these down or anything. I know some people, I don't know about their ceramic tiles, but I know with some wooden substrates you need to sand down the surface to make it gruff to be able to attach to, but you don't need to do that today. So we're just taking this, I've got a little alcohol, clean it however you want to clean them, okay? And then I'm just taking my towel and cleaning them off real quick. Nothing fancy, just giving it a nice clean smooth surface for my glue to adhere to. And today what we're gonna do, so what you need for today's project is you need your tiles, you need a paintbrush. I prefer these. I don't know, I keep thinking that they're called a Talon or Talic or something like that. These are my favorite paintbrushes. They spread out. Dollar Tree does sell them as well. It's a soft, it's not a rough bristle. You want something soft. Talcon, I don't know. Some Mod Podge, whatever variety suits your fancy. I am using matte today because obviously this is going underneath my product, so it doesn't really matter what it is, and I'm not going to waste my good stuff like my dishwasher safe or glossy when nobody's going to see it. I'm going to be ironing on top of this when I do this. So what I do is and you need some, I just ramble on, don't I? I just want to change subjects. I call that where's the squirrel syndrome. I haven't even mentioned that yet. So then I have my alcohol and a little spritzer that I got at the Dollar Tree, 2 for $1.25 now, and then I just spritz it down and clean it off. So that's what you're gonna need today, okay? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and some type of cloth, and I do have a cup of water. So about 5 items. It's alcohol, not gonna hurt you. It's not like you're using a soap or a material or anything like that, so this is great. So I'm gonna clean off these 4. I'm gonna start with 4. I usually do my coaster sets in 4s. I did this process a couple of years ago when I was really making a lot of these, and I had, my son has a bus driver who was wonderful, or he had one, for years, and she was wonderful, and she was my guinea pig on things that I would make to test out, and I gave her a set of coasters, Irish coasters for St. Patty's Day, and she loved them, and I believe a couple months ago on St. Patty's Day, she said, they're still going strong, so that was really awesome to hear, right? I'm just gonna move them out of the way for a minute because I'm a little bit of a messy person. I'm gonna probably wipe them once more, like I see a fuzz just floating along. I also do like a pair of tweezers on the side in case a piece of dog hair or fuzz finds its way onto my product while I'm putting the glue on. So Mod Podge matte. Again, do not shake your bottles. You're going to roll your bottles, okay? You do not want to shake it. You want to roll. And it does say apply with soft bristle brush or foam applicator. I did try, I don't know, I don't like the foam brushes. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I don't know, I do. This one doesn't say you have to roll it like the dishwasher one does, but I do like to do it a little bit. I have another set of coasters right there as well. That's what you heard clanking for a second. So I'm just rolling this along the table. Just roll it just like that. Just roll it along. Mix it up a little bit. You can pour it out. You can dip into it. It doesn't matter. Oh, I haven't even opened this one yet. I don't know where my other one is. I should have one that's open already that's smaller. All right, let's just pop this sucker open. See, I didn't even open it. Didn't even know that. I just chopped my nails off, so of course it doesn't want to go through. Oh, I can use these to stab it. There we go. Usually my nails are like we joke, and I call them can openers because when we're trying to open something, I just stick my nail in when they're long, and I just literally just zip right around the edge. All right, so that's open now, and of course my fingers are gross, so I'm gonna use my cup of water there and just do that. All right, dried my fingers. So here we go. Got my coaster. Give it a little blow. We do have a doggy, so a four-legged friend. So I'm just gonna take my brush, dip it in. Again, this is gonna be underneath your napkin. So what I do is I love to decoupage with napkins. It is my favorite thing. And I also wanna be honest with you. If you get a fuzz on here, like I could see a fuzz there. For some reason, my paintbrushes love fuzzes. You wanna try to get all the corners, but if you get a fuzz on your Mod Podge, and you put a napkin that has a light background to the back of it, it's going to show through when you iron it. So you want to make sure you get all of those off. So I'm going one direction on my coaster. I've turned my coaster around a couple times, as you saw, and now I'm going to turn it the other direction, and I'm going to go the opposite direction. You are going to do 2 layers, and I'm going to see if I can speed up the process today. And the reason I go back and forth both directions is because you want to get all your edges. You don't want your napkin to be coming up, lifting up on the sides, right? So you don't want that. Doesn't have to be a super thick. I probably went a little thicker than I normally would. Does not have to be a super thick layer because you're going to do a second layer on this. When you're doing these types of coasters, you want to do a second adhesion layer. So there we go. It's on there. Let me take a look real quick here. I don't see any, oh, I do see a fuzz right up in the corner. There's a little tiny fuzz right here. I'm just gonna try to pull that off real quick. It's so hard to see sometimes when you're at an angle. All right, I think I got it. I got it moved at least. I just got something to do that, and then I'm just gonna give a little more glue on that little corner because really what I did was I scraped off my glue. So there we go. That one is all set, and look at that, I found another fuzz. I don't understand really how we get so many fuzzes. The old house is the same way. I apologize, it looks like I'm shaking a little bit. But I don't want those fuzzes stuck, so I'm trying to get those little fuzzes off now before I do anything with it, right? So there's one. That's actually a defect on, there's a little defect on the corner of this one, and I was trying to get it off, but it did not work. I've tweezed my little fuzzes off before, but the tweezers don't really seem to grab well when you do that. All right, here's number 2. I can see a fuzz hanging out on the side there. I just want to make sure it's off. A little blow on the side, and again, dip my brush. I think what I started to say at the beginning is I'm really excited because my Temu order is coming. I ordered a new heat press. It's not going to be obviously probably as good as my Cricut mini press. I know that. But hopefully at least it has enough heat to it that we can finish these coasters tomorrow. So hopefully it's got enough heat, because that was the problem with that little mini iron. It just did not have enough heat to get out all the edges. So I did one direction, now I'm gonna go back and do the other direction. This really doesn't take long, really doesn't. Again, you don't have to be perfect. This is my underneath, this is not my top layer. So you do not have to be perfect. And this is my first layer. You're gonna do 2 of these. You want to do 2 of these, and I'll tell you why. You wanna make sure you've got glue everywhere, okay? Everywhere. I do wanna clean up the edges if you get a little on the sides. I actually don't see any fuzzes on that one. That's a miracle for me. Number 3, I mean, look how quick this is. We're gonna try to speed up this process. I've seen people use their Mod Podge. I've been seeing people use their blow dryers to speed up the drying process, because you are supposed to wait 2 hours in between each coat. But I am only doing this bottom coat. I'm not doing a top coat. So this is my bottom coat. So I'm thinking we can probably get away with, yep, that's the right direction, with drying it in between, because it's just my bottom coat. My top coat, however, I am going to let dry the full 2 hours. I do not know if my, look at that. There's that fuzz again, a bigger fuzz this time. Can you see the little stinker right there? Let's see if I can get him off. There you go, got him. You do want to let the top layer dry. I don't know. I mean, I'll see how the speed up process works because I've never used the blow dryer before really on a Mod Podge project like this. So we'll see how it works, but I just don't know. I really want my top layer dry when I apply my napkins to it. So I want the smoothest layer I can get. So as I mentioned, you don't have to worry about brush strokes per se, but you still want an even layer. You don't want clumps. So you do want to even it out. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to even it out because this is going to be your surface. And if it's clumpy, the napkin will be clumpy. So make sure you get that nice and smooth. I'm being pretty messy. I'm not, you'll see I'm kind of flipping off the edges. When I'm doing my actual, top layers, you know, when I'm working with my napkins, I'm so much neater and easier, but this is just a glued bottom, but I can see how thick it is on the bottom, so I don't want it that thick, and I can see that fuzz is back again, and they're on my paintbrush, and that's where they're coming from, and I don't really understand that. Let me make sure I get all that. So see, it doesn't take a lot of Mod Podge here. And you want it dry in between. It can be a little tacky, but you don't want it soaked in between because it's really not doing a second layer if it's still wet. Another fuzz. I'm just going to take my tweezers here and try to grab that off. And I got it. That was pretty good. And just go back over that spot because the tweezers kind of pull up your glue. And there it is. 4 coasters already glued. So let's see if we can take our blow dryer here and speed up our process. I did close up my glue so that I don't affect my glue. So let's see if we can dry these up a bit. Look at that. That was not good. So there's a learning lesson for you. I don't know if you can see that, but I just blew a whole bunch of fuzzes all over my nice, neat coasters. I just did all that work and I just blew all kinds of fuzz on it. So my blow dryer obviously had some dirt in it, some like fuzz on it. It is a new constructed house. We do have a lot of, it just doesn't seem to matter how much I vacuum or dust. We seem to have a lot of dust. A little disappointed here. Good thing I'm not live. Well, actually, if I was live, it would be great, but what would you do in this situation, I guess would be a good question. I'm just tilting this because I can't see. I can see that there's a fuzz here, but I can't quite grab it. All right, he's cleaned off. I got most of it. That didn't work out the way we wanted it to, did we? Really was hoping for a nice, easy, quick video. I probably could re-edit, you know, redo my whole video, start over again. But do we want to? I mean, this is real life. Life happens. There we go. Couldn't get it for a second. There's a long one right here. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a really long one right there. There it is. It didn't shoot too bad. I'm actually not going to go back over these with the paintbrush because I'm going to do a second layer anyways. It's not my final layer. I know I saw a couple, not too bad. It does feel like the blow dryers, I can already see. I don't know if you can see where it's wet and drying already, so the blow dryer was definitely working. Like I said, I've seen people do it all over the videos, Facebook, YouTube, and I was just kind of curious. They do it with this, they do it with paint, and I've done it with the paint a little bit, but not a ton. Okay, I got them all off, but this one in the corner, oh, that's that defect, which the defect is probably going to show. All right, they're nice and clean again, except for the fuzz I just put back on there, it looks like. That's a surface fuzz, that was good. Okay. A paper towel would be better than my microfiber cloth, but let's blow this off for a second. Try to blow away any fuzzes first. And then I'm going to put it back on and try to dry these again. So this isn't too bad. I mean, all right, so this is actually pretty cool because I can already tell that it's dry. So maybe I don't have to wait 2 hours in between anymore. I don't know if you realize why we're doing it this way. So when you're doing coaster napkins, decoupaging, and you're decoupaging them onto a surface, you don't want, I do see people do it a lot, especially on a curved surface like a glass or something, which maybe that would work okay. I haven't really done a lot of glassware because of that reason, because they're curved. I don't want my surface wet. I want it dry. See, it's nice and dry. I want it dry. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to lay my napkin on it. I'm going to put it exactly where I want it. I'm going to put my protective cover on it, and I'm going to iron it on. And when I put that iron down, what it's going to do is it's going to reactivate the glue. So the glue is going to get sticky again. And that's what's going to adhere my napkin to the plate. Because a lot of people are like, well, you're drying it. Why would you want to dry it? Because how's your napkin going to stick? It's going to stick, okay, with the heat from your little press. A bigger iron might work. So if you don't have a mini heat press, don't freak out. You could probably use an iron. I just didn't like the little, I mean, mine's really old. I won't lie. I got it at Goodwill. We grabbed it. It was like $3 or something. It was a little, it's down here somewhere. Oh, here it is. This is really old school. Old school. It has a Bradley's tag on it for $12.99. I don't know if any of y'all are old enough for Bradley's. Do you remember Bradley's? Bradley's, Ames, Woolworth. Well, that was a Bradley's. And I'm sure it worked great as an iron, little travel iron, but I just did not like the surface. I could actually go grab, let me grab one. So don't go anywhere. I'm going to keep on talking. Don't know if you can hear me. This is one I did. Here we go. So this is one I did. Pull my chair back in. A couple weeks ago. It's been weeks. So you can see all the bumps in it. I don't know. I hope you can see that. I can't see what I'm showing you per se. I don't have a computer set up beside me. I don't have a big enough space for that right now. Okay, so there's bumps, and that's not bumps from me doing something wrong. That's actually the napkin, how they have the pleating in it to keep the plies together. That's what that is, and I don't like that. So that does not happen when I do my other ones, so my heat press ones. So I dripped a little glue, as you saw. I don't know if you saw that. A little glue's dripping. Huh. All right, so we're gonna do this again. Same thing we did before. Look at that, I just added fuzzes right back. And that's what I don't understand. I just put my brush down beside me. All right, so it's not fully dry. And you know how I know that? I can feel it underneath my paintbrush. It is not fully dry. So I don't know. I think we're gonna need to dry those a little bit longer because that is, we don't want that. It's tacky, I can feel it. It was dry to my touch, which is interesting, but it feels a little tacky, like I'm dragging my brush. Pull those fuzzes off. That's all gone. So you can see where it's applying, it's kind of going on tacky. So we might need to run that blow dryer again for a second. Need a little more in this corner. I can see where it's dried out. Yeah, it's definitely pulling a little bit, so we don't want that. So I don't know, maybe I need to do my blow dryer a little bit longer. Do you use a blow dryer on your projects? On hot or cold? I mean, I would assume hottish. This blow dryer doesn't have a lot of settings. All right, it's on there pretty good though. I just don't like, I can see a dry spot. When you're holding your thing at an angle, you can see whether you have a dry spot or not. And I just want to make sure my edges, like I said, my edges really need to be good because that's where you're gonna have a problem. The biggest problem is if that's coming up, your napkin's going to rip off your surface. It doesn't matter if you've sealed it or not. If that comes up on the edging, you're gonna get in trouble. Like, it's gonna come apart and then people are gonna be really upset with your products. And you don't want that. All right, that wasn't too bad to clean up. I can see a random fuzzy here. I thought I saw another one. I can see another one here. That's my little defect on the corner. I'm gonna have to brush back over that. There we go. Okay, just brush it over so it smooths it out because you did just make a dent in it. Okay, so let's grab that blow dryer again because I don't think that was dry enough. That was pretty, yeah, we're gonna put it on cool this time. That second one has a top layer. It's okay. It's not a bad top layer. I'm okay with it. You know, could it be better? Sure. I'm gonna have to check that. That looks like there's a fuzz stuck there. Again, this could be my OCD, a little over anal. People may not even care about the little extra fuzz that sticks or something, but I can see it and that drives me nuts. Okay. Let's try that again. Is that a fuzz in my surface? It is. It's a pink fuzz. Little tiny pink fuzz. And the problem is it's already dried, right? So now I have to actually dig to get the fuzz out, which is fine. It just pulled up a little, it just pulled up, excuse me, a little bit of my Mod Podge. So we're gonna go back to doing that again. The process is obviously much quicker when I'm doing it by myself and I'm not trying to talk and explain and, you know, so this isn't something that takes a super long time. So I've got my second layer on the first one. This feels all right, not too tacky. I'm impatient. I usually wait, so it's a full 2 hours for a full dry. I usually wait about a half an hour in between and then come back and do my second layer. The reason we're doing this today, I'm so excited. I've got boxes of these and I haven't been doing them because I couldn't find my heat press, and that was really depressing because I really wanted to make, I had some pretty cute napkins and I really wanted to make some things and I could not find my heat press to save my soul. So I got a notification a little while ago. When I got out of the shower, I checked my email and I had a notification from Temu that my order is on its way is being out for delivery. So that definitely excited me. And I was like, oh, I can actually do some coasters finally. I've been dying to do some heat pressing. So that is why we are doing them today. I'm gonna put a little more on my brush for the tackiness. I just wanna get these edges, and I didn't have a lot of extra there. See how you swipe off the extra? I don't want a ton of extra all over my coaster. So again, you don't want bumps all over the place, but I'm just doing this to make sure my edges have got glue on them because it's gonna dry. I didn't do it the first round because obviously I was gonna paint again. I don't know what's with my voice today. My allergies, I don't like summer. I mean, I like summer and I don't like summer. It doesn't like me, I guess. So there we go. My allergies are so bad, and then it's raining today, which actually really depends on the pressure. It kills my head. We've got, it's not heavy rain, but from what I can see, I haven't been out yet. I will go out soon, but it kills my head. So I'm okay with blow drying it. It's not horrible. That's my first attempt with that. So we're just doing our second layer. I should probably pay attention to make sure I've been in the frame of the video this whole time. Huh. Hope I have. If I haven't, please let me know. Okay, so there's my second layer. And again, I just want enough on there so that I know that I'm gonna be okay. Now I can see a fuzz or two floating along here. There's a little fuzz right there. I'm gonna try to get it up. So I do wear glasses, like I mentioned, and if I was to try to do that up close to the camera so you could see those fuzzes, I can't do that. Not at my age anymore, the way my glasses function. I have to pull them off my head and stick my head up against the substrate, so doesn't really work so well for a video. You'd have the back of my head in your face. So that is why I move it out of the camera view so that I can get the fuzz off. I figure getting a fuzz off of your item is kind of self-explanatory, so you're probably okay with doing that yourself. You probably don't need a video on how to pull that off. Oh, I didn't like that. There we go. One more edge. I'm just using the edge of my, like what's left on my brush, kind of, to stroke that on there if I have some on there. If I don't have enough, then I'll grab a little out of the container, but I really want these corners glued down. One more coaster to go, and that gives me a set of 4, and I think that's good. I don't really think a lot of people need more than 4, but that's always up to you. My sets have done okay in sets of 4 because they're pretty nice, and it's not like a cheap coaster. It's a pretty nice, comes out really nice. This is probably going to be a 3-part video, and I'll explain why. I was thinking it was going to be 2 parts, and then I realized it's probably going to be 3, and the reason for that is that we have 3 processes. Like there's 3 steps, right? So, because first I need to prep them. And then I have to wait 2 hours in between. I'm not fancy smancy yet. I don't know how to do this. This is all new to me. I started doing this because I thought people would enjoy them. And honestly, need to figure out a way to work from home or try to find a job. And this to me is much more enjoyable than going to work for Joe Schmo. And I'd much rather teach people how to do things or talk about things. And I've worked from home before, just a different style of work from home, more like an MLM type thing. So I've done really well with the jewelry business in the past. So therefore, I thought this would just be a nice, I don't know, I like videos. I'm used to doing lives though on Facebook. So what I was trying to say was, I have another fuzz. it's going to be 3 steps. We got to prep them, okay? And then we have to, I'm going to stick my paintbrush right in my water cup. Those are all ready to go. Done. Ready to dry. So we're going to prep them. And then we're going to come back on part 2 and we're going to apply our napkins. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm super excited because I love the way these come out. Love them. Going to look so much better. I mean, I think this is a pretty cool. This is a tile coaster. It is tile. Okay. And it looks like it's one piece. People are mind blown when they find out that I use napkins because I do such a process with these. So, and then you can see where it's come. Actually, look at that. You can see where it's lifting. So, am I too close? See that? It's lifting right there. See? That's what you don't want. And that's because that iron was not getting hot enough for me. You can hear it. Can you hear that? That's all lifting. And I don't ever have that. I mean, you're going to seal it down. This has been sealed on the top too. So you're going to iron it and then you're going to seal it too. So, I mean, this is a several step process, but I don't normally have that problem after I sealed it. So I'm really not impressed with that. That iron was not hot enough to glue these things down properly. And that's it. Now you have 4 coasters or 4 tiles ready to be coasters. And we're going to use some napkins. I did not pull out any napkins yet because I haven't decided which ones we're going to do. But that is how simple it is. So what do you need today again? Let's do a quick recap. What we are going to make is ceramic coasters, decoupage them with napkins. And the full process. So what you need is some coasters. Again, Home Depot, Lowe's, they're dirt cheap. They're not expensive. I think I don't know if they're 20 cents a piece, 50 cents a piece. I don't know. I buy the box. The box just makes it so much easier. So I buy the box. Coasters, some Mod Podge, just using the mat. The mat is the cheapest one that I know of. And it doesn't matter because it's on the bottom underneath. It doesn't matter. It's not what I'm going to use to seal them. But this is what I'm going to use for all my processes until I'm ready to seal them. A paintbrush, some water, and you want to clean something to clean your coasters with. I used a microfiber cloth and some alcohol, spray alcohol. And I do have a little cover here. I should put that back on. And that's it. And a little patience. And they're done. So I'm super excited that you joined me. Please don't forget to subscribe, like my video, and share it. Really would love to grow this channel a little bit. I think I have a lot of knowledge to share with you all. And I love questions. So if you have questions, please ask me. I did have one comment on a video, but I like comments. I like to be able to respond. It took me a little bit to figure out how to reply at first, but now I think I've got it. So I don't think it tagged her though. I don't know what I was doing wrong with tagging. So if you could tell me how to tag properly, I would be happy with that. It didn't look like it tagged her. I did the @ symbol on the name and it didn't work. So maybe I need to go into studio or something like that, but super excited, super easy, and super fun. I love doing these. So if you like this, give me a thumbs up, please. Share, subscribe to my network, The Procrastinator. What we're doing today, what we did today is get ready to do some coasters, to decoupage on some coasters. So I hope you join me again for the follow-up video. I will post this one. My iron is supposed to be here today. Super excited, so that maybe I might even be able to do it tonight. Hopefully I can do a video tonight. It depends on how loud it is in my house. We do have children. We have a pup. My fiance is on his way home, you know, when he comes home from work. So it all depends on how loud it is in the house, whether I'm going to do another video. But that is all you have to do. And now I'm going to let this dry. I'm not going to blow dry the second layer. I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to let it dry the full 2 hours, okay? Full 2 hours before I actually put my product on here. So hope you have a great day, and I will definitely see you later.